Hey guys, do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions in life? Like you're physically present, you're showing up, you keep showing up, but you never really ever arrive at what you're striving for. You never get to that sense of contentment, happiness, fulfillment, peace, meaning, purpose, harmony, joy, whatever it is you want to call that. It just feels like it's always elusive from you. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about a concept called duality, which is all about embracing both the positive and the negative in life, which can be really challenging for us. The Enneagram helps us to see what it is not only that motivates us, but what it is we're running from. What if we could soften that tension just a little bit and turn around and face that dragon that's chasing us? How different our life might look on this path to personal growth. Hey guys, welcome back to my video. My name is Tom, and today we're going to talk about a very challenging concept, and that is, the world pushes us to focus on the things that we can see. It pushes us to focus on success, achievement, goals, accomplishment. Not only that, but also just adventure and excitement and happiness and relationships and connection and all these things. We tend to focus on acquiring or achieving or maintaining or pursuing all of these wonderful positive things in life. But the reality is everything under the sun, everything in creation has a positive side and sort of a dark side or a negative side. In other words, you can't have light without dark. You can't have work without rest or happiness without sorrow. And learning to accept that this duality exists can help us slow down and be more present to life as it actually is. Each Enneagram type focuses on certain aspects of life while trying to outrun or ignore other darker aspects of life. And you might say these hidden aspects of life. But to truly grow, we need to be able to soften this resistance a little bit and be able to embrace more of the other parts of ourselves that maybe we don't want to lead with. There are parts of our personality that we love, our strengths, the things that we do well, the things that other people approve of and applaud. But then there's maybe some other parts of us that are a little harder for us to face. And true growth is going to require us to slow down and be able to embrace not only the good that we see, but also maybe some of the fears that live within us. Okay, the first point that I want to make is that acceptance is foundational to growth. What do I mean by acceptance? What I mean is every personality, every Enneagram type is trying to move towards something, is motivated towards something. And in another sense, you might say we're trying to outrun something. So think about type 1s, for example, moving toward order, moving toward making things correct, making things right, but they can often end up kind of perfectionistic, right? And so it's important for ones to realize this and learn to maybe push back on their resistance a little bit and be willing to accept a little bit more of the chaos and the messiness in life. The reality is you can't fix everything, you can't make everything right, and nothing is going to be completely perfect. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner your real growth in this world can begin. Or think, for example, type 3s who are driven towards success, who are pushing themselves to accomplish, to win. What if they could embrace the fact that no matter how much I accomplish, no matter what name I make for myself, there's always going to be a part of me that never really feels like I'm successful, that everybody struggles with that. And if they could push back a little bit on that resistance, they would be able to accept more of themselves. Or type 4s who want things to be meaningful and deep and rich and beautiful and creative. And that might cause you as a 4 to resist the things in life that we might say are mundane, the simple pleasures of life, the simple joys in life because you're looking for something rich and meaningful, and it could cause you to miss out on many wonderful things that the rest of us enjoy in life. Or type 7s are probably the most obvious with this, chasing after happiness, chasing after positivity, chasing after all of the bright and shiny things in life, and trying to outrun sorrow and sadness and pain and boredom. But the reality is life is always going to have some measure of sorrow and pain. And if I could learn to accept all of these emotions and not feel like I have to run from them, think of how that makes the happy moments all the brighter and all the richer. But when we dial down our emotions because we don't want to feel the negative ones, then we dial down our ability to truly experience the positive. And look at sevens working really hard to try to have light in their lives because we've dialed down our emotional base because we don't want to feel the negative stuff. Or one more, think about type 6s. What if type 6s who work really hard to get ahead of problems and make sure that they're safe and secure and that they've aligned themselves with teams that will protect them? What if you as a 6 could just realize you're never going to feel completely safe in this world? Now that's a truth that is obvious, but you hate that thought that you're never really going to feel safe. Doesn't matter how many bunkers you build or how many rations that you've saved up or where you've invested your money, you're never really going to feel completely safe in this world because this world is scary. And if you could stop running from that truth and just embrace that a little bit, look at how that starts to soften you to accept more of life. So by acknowledging both sides, the light and the dark, the order and the chaos in life, you can start to embrace more meaningful growth in your life, more meaningful personal development. A lot of times when people talk about personal development, they mean, get me to the next level. How do I get to the next level? But sometimes you got to slow down and face the darkness outside and face the darkness within to truly grow. And not a lot of people want to do that kind of work. It's in embracing both sides, the light and the dark, the good, the bad, and accepting that this is the way it is, that true meaning can be revealed in our lives. The second thing that I want to say, the second point here is we've got to face the emptiness in life. Ugh, sounds gross, doesn't it? Yeah, well, think about like a bowl. A bowl is fashioned for a purpose, or a cup is fashioned for a purpose. And if you think about it, it's really the emptiness inside it that makes a bowl useful. It's the emptiness inside a glass that makes it useful. Well, growth is not just about shoring up the externals and making sure that we keep our image and our externals looking good. Real growth is about facing the emptiness within. Think about type 7s again, chasing after something. Why? Are you so empty? And think of that sin of gluttony. It's basically saying that whatever I need for happiness and fulfillment exists outside of me. Or again, back to type 3s who are chasing after success and meaning and fulfillment and reaching their goals to feel a sense of value in life. What is pushing you? Everybody can see what you're running toward, but have you ever thought about what is pushing you? It's the emptiness inside, or it's the fear inside. The void, you might say, inside. And instead of running from that void, what if we could turn around and face that? What if we could turn around and accept that inner void is there with humility and vulnerability, because we tend to want to neglect that. We don't really want to face that emptiness within. What about the type 9 who's working really hard to maintain harmony and connection with people and they don't want to upset others? What is it you don't want to feel? What is it that you're afraid of? What is it that's driving and pushing this? Everybody appreciates the way you keep harmony, but what is it that you're afraid of that's going to happen if you were to be disconnected or fragmented from others? This boulder is chasing us, and every one of us has a boulder. The fear of being unloved or the fear of being unwanted or found to be not pleasing. The 5, being found to be incompetent and not able to handle things on your own. Every one of us is got a boulder or a dragon that's chasing us. And instead of just letting it drive us forward all the time without any awareness, what if we could turn around, face this, and Instead of fearing it, actually lean into this emptiness, focusing on the space within, or maybe you might say on that shadow side. It may be where we discover true depth, richness, and purpose. Okay, now for the third point. If we haven't gotten dark enough, we're about to get as dark and bleak as we could ever get possible. And that is with this statement: it's death that gives life meaning. I know, it sounds creepy, right? But just think about it for a minute. This sounds heavy, but understanding this is everything. And it gives us a sense of urgency, purpose, and meaning in our lives. All of us know that life is temporary. Like there was a time before we existed, and then there's going to be a time when we leave this world, when we are no longer in this body form. We're going to be buried one day or cremated. And that is not a pleasant thought. None of us really want to, well, maybe a few people, the 4-wing 5s, 5-wing 4s, maybe down at the bottom might be okay with this, but 7s? We don't want to think about this. This is not something that's comfortable to talk about. You want to ruin a discussion at a party? Start talking about death. Nobody wants to talk about this. But if we were to live forever, think about it like that. If you were to be immortal, then it really doesn't matter what you spend your time doing today because you've got a billion more days to live. So there's no sense of urgency because there's no finality. But when you look at life as though we've only got so many days and we really don't know how many days we have, and time is running out. Think about it like that. Time is running out. So you see how that creates a sense of urgency and a sense of need for purpose? Well, if I only have so much time left, where am I going to spend that time? And this is going to move us toward thinking about balancing our lives and making sure that we're not over-focused in just one area like work, or over-focused in personal health or physical fitness. All of these things are important, but we really need balance in our life because we only have so much time to live. Life is fleeting, and we need to really appreciate now. Okay, let me go there. Let me go here, okay? So hang with me. If you really want to know what your purpose in life is, you have to ask your dead self. Okay, you have to ask your dead self. You need a Jacob Marley moment. You remember Jacob Marley, who came back in the Christmas Carol and told Ebenezer Scrooge that his life was screwed up? He was focused on the wrong things. Jacob Marley lived the exact same way, but he didn't realize it because he wasn't dead yet, right? And so you want to think about, if I could interview my dead self, if I could go into the future and I could interview my dead self, what would my dead self tell me to focus on today? Now, whether or not you believe in heaven or hell, it really doesn't matter, okay? At least for this point. Even if you just believe that when you die, you're done, you're annihilated, okay? So you're just over. So imagine you could wake yourself up out of that grave and say, hey, dead Tom, you've been dead for 50 years now. If you could come back, at age 45 or at age 32 or at age 74, if you could come back and you had another 5 years or another 10 years to live, what would you spend your time doing? How would you invest your today? Now, if you believe in heaven and hell, it just makes it all the more serious, right? But even if you don't, just realize that concept. If you want to know what your meaning and purpose in life is, you're probably better off to ask the dead, what should I focus on? It gives you perspective about today and about where you spend your time and energy today. That could make all the difference today. Okay, what are we saying in this video? What we're saying is, everything in creation exists with like a positive side and a not so positive side. You know, you go to a family reunion, there's positive, there's people there that you love talking to, and then what? There's the other people that you kind of have to be nice to. Everything exists like this. The good, the bad, the positive, the negative, the light, the dark, the happy, the sad. However you want to look at it, just put a line down the middle and there's going to be two parts of it. Resisting this is futile. Trying to focus only on the positive or trying to focus only on the light or the good or the right or the loving, we have to learn to accept life as it is. And it's really an acceptance that we start to get more holistic and we start to be people of more depth. It's understanding this and then embracing it. Think about type 2s, for example, that spend so much time chasing after people, giving them their love and attention and affection. It's very hurtful when that's not reciprocated. It's very hurtful when that is not, given back to them. But twos, you often neglect your own emotional inner life. You often, what are you running toward? Other people to take care of them and to love them. Okay, ask it from the other side. What are you running away from? What is it that you're trying to avoid? What is it that's painful for you? Grieving that and accepting that could make you a richer, deeper, and more fulfilled person who's actually able to love people in a deeper, more substantive way. Life isn't just about what you can see. It's not just about what you can touch or what you can achieve. It's also about the unseen, the void inside, or as the Bible says, God has set eternity in our hearts. And there's this space within us that'll never find real fulfillment in this life. And the Enneagram offers us a roadmap, I think, to see both sides, the stuff we're chasing and also the stuff we're running away from. And if we could embrace this a little more, we could grieve our loss and experience a little more peace in life and not be so harried or hurried or driven and be a little bit more calm, accepting, and restful in life. So take a moment and ask yourself, what parts of life are you maybe a little too preoccupied with, a little bit too focused on? What parts are you ignoring? Are you ignoring your family? Are you ignoring your physical health? Are you ignoring rest and hobbies and recreation? You know, we want to live a balanced life. We want to live a life that isn't just hyper focused in two or three areas, but what about your spiritual life? What about your physical health? We want to take time to really reflect on life holistically. So when you embrace both sides of life, you unlock the power to fully grow and to grow authentically and experience peace that is available to you right now. If this video was interesting or helpful or challenging to you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Reach out to me. I'd love to work with you if I can help you or your marriage or your relationship, or maybe you just feel stuck in life and you just need somebody to listen, somebody to encourage, somebody who understands your personality type. Can make all the difference. Check out this video I'm recommending and this playlist to help you continue growing, continue developing as a person. And we're talking about real growth here, not that surface level growth that, so many people are focused on, but real, heavy, deep, inner work. And it's not always easy, but it is always worth it. Thank you guys, and be present to life. I'll see you next time.